it off every so often to like rub the area because it's yeah, wearing a watch all day gets kind of irritating.
I
Yeah.
was really hoping you wouldn't say watch. I was like,
I
Jesus
know,
Christ.
I know, and
I
I
was like,
started
wow,
saying,
you are handing me this. Dear
yeah.
Lord.
I was actually talking until I thought of a way to scrub the word or the thought from your mind.
I'm here. Everything he's gonna do is one-handed at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He keeps
There's
the
no
watch
video
on to time
yeah.
himself.
There's no video feeds, but I got your pictures on some dolls.
ah. Oh, I don't know. That's in my head anyways, something. Hi, Daniel, say something for the love of God.
Something for the love of God.
Thank you. That was a
See,
great
this is
tweet.
why you're the pro.
Yeah, for real.
Oh man. So, do you
Yeah.
want to talk about how great it is to talking to Adam Blank in front of Joe, who never gets to?
Oh, out of it. I talk to him regularly. Whenever I'm up in Edmonton, we'll go out for lunch. I
Wow.
is this not something most people get to do? I'm
No,
confused.
believe it or not, surprisingly.
I
I mean, if
have
you want to go
had the
farther
fortune.
back, some of his stories about people that him being an asshole as a kid, I can definitely confirm because he was an asshole as a kid.
All right. So,
See,
how
there you
long have
go.
you known him?
Yeah, let's
Uh,
get into
d-
that.
d- d- grade halfway through grade 4, I switched to his school.
So, was that
So,
in Cold Lake, Alberta?
no, that was Calgary before we moved to
Ew.
Cold Lake. So, yeah, 93-ish.
Oh, that's right. Yes, his dad was military, so yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were all
yeah.
over the place.
Yeah, he was one of the first friends I met when I switched the schools.
Oh, nice. And he
Oh,
was a
yeah,
dick.
that's
I
sweet.
like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we lived in the same neighborhood, so but
Oh,
yeah,
okay, I see. You're a roving gang of raccoons.
exactly. We were the Jimothy's of the day.
Oh, God.
Oh, look at that.
But
Jimothy reference in the show. Look at us. We're
yeah,
trending.
Yeah, we're viral.
you got to stay current. That's how you keep the youngers, the youngins or something. I don't know.
Ow.
So,
Use.
I've had a question I've wanted to ask you for a while, Daniel. The shows you go to, what are you showcasing or what are you selling? Like you go to conventions a lot, I see on your Instagram.
The two major ones. They're either art markets. I help out my friend. She's got a booth. She sells homemade jewelry that she's made from like upcycled toys and things. A lot of Lego Scrabble tiles and things. Um, it's I but I usually go. I help her out, and then I'm her ride home because she doesn't drive.
Mm.
And then she also has stickers and things that she makes, and a couple of stickers that I've designed. That's part of the deal. She sells them for me because I'm way too lazy to actually make an effort to try and sell stuff. Um, and then a couple times a year, I'll actually go and I'll do get a table at a toy show or something, and that's usually how I start clearing out some of my old toys and things that I don't want or old games or.
And you're a very big Transformers nut.
I am a massive Transformers nut. Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. I've seen your
yeah.
awesome cave. And speaking of which, have you seen that matrix of power you can buy that you can open up and it plays You Got the Touch?
I have.
That sounds awesome.
I have been trying to tell myself that I don't need it.
I am
I
yes, I
am
am there
not being the
currently.
most successful, but I've been trying.
Yeah, I've been the same way. I know where to buy it. I know how long it's going to take to ship, and
Yeah.
I just need to find the Optimus Prime onesie.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Sounds
it's
like you need to
Rodimus
use
Prime.
that. You need to use that Retrotopia business card.
Yeah, the Retrotopia Black card, good for one free drink after a purchase of 5.
Yeah.
If you
But
collect all the stamps, you get a free plate of wings.
yeah.
Oh god, that would be the dream.
We can make that happen. You know how easy it would be to make? We can design a punch card, listen to 5 episodes, get an imagine, go treat yourself to a plate of wings.
Yeah, it really has to emphasize that we're not paying for it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. See, that's why I
Yeah.
stumbled for a minute. Like, whoa, wait a minute. This can't cost us money.
Yeah.
It needs to cost them
Listen to
money.
us, and we will justify your desire to go and treat yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, go buy yourself a plate of wings.
Yeah, I've been on a bad wing bender this last week. I already told you, Joe, about my few beers a night every night
Yeah.
for the last week. I've also had wings.
You've
Let's see,
talked
about
about getting wings like the last 3 or
I
4
was just gonna say,
episodes.
you've been
I
on a
know.
wings bender for the past decade. What are you
That's true.
talking
Like, I
about,
don't know
man?
Well,
what it's been lately, but I know I talk about shit that I like a lot because I don't really have a lot going on in my life. So it's not like I have some fancy story to talk about. It's just I went to the bar and I got wings is literally the highlight of my day.
Welcome to the lavish life of podcasting, people.
Yeah. Why do you podcast? Because I have nothing else going
What else
on.
to do? Exactly. Well, what? I should spend this time in the evening with my family? Ew.
I do that, but we all have our own computers, so we all just kind of bugger off to our own little areas.
yeah. Well, also you're in school, and I remember when I was in
That's
school,
true.
drinking and food definitely made it better.
Yeah, that is
Doesn't
true. I've
matter how
been
much you enjoy the thing, man. After 3 hours or something, you're like, I think I've definitely earned whatever I feel like having today.
yeah. I have been hitting the Unreal lessons hard. I bought some courses off Humble Bundle, so it
Oh,
cost me
nice.
like $40. But you know the website charges $1,500 for the course or some stupid ridiculous amount.
I love
And
Humble
I
Bundle.
yeah, I decided to actually follow the course, and I'm about three-quarters done, and I'm really actually enjoying it. I'm actually learning something too. The only
Nice. I
problem
still
is
I know I
the
mentioned it like a month ago. I really do need to sit down and take another look at Unreal.
yeah, the pixel art thing is actually really dumb simple. Like not actually making pixel art, but making pixel levels.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be this complicated, very in depth system that would take you hours to figure out, but it's literally like right click on a pixel sheet or a sprite sheet like three times in three different options, and boom, you have yourself an animation made, and you can just drop it in.
Unreal does more than 3D models. I literally had no idea.
Yeah. Oh no, it does everything.
Huh.
Most game engines now have both.
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense this day and
Well,
age.
what is a 2D game literally than having a camera fixed on a 2D plane?
pretty
True.
much.
So, I
Huh.
mean, that's all you do. The Adventures of Elliot was made with Unreal. Square uses Unreal a lot lately, so
Hmm.
it's a good system. I'm actually really enjoying it, and the more I learn about it, the easier it gets, obviously. And now it's getting to the point where I'm getting ahead of the lessons because I already know what to do to fix the problems they call unfixable solutions until the next episode.
Nice.
You're a smart cookie, Brian. Look at you.
Not a lot of
I
cookies.
like the cookie, especially being last.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. There we go. My brain shot. Look, I already told you before this. I've been up since 4 a.m. It's currently 9 p.m. and yeah, that's starting to catch up finally.
I wonder how many people are gonna get that reference.
The ones that do might giggle. The ones that find out later might not.
Like that's definitely an our generation thing. That's not a newer generation thing. I don't see that joke anymore.
Oh, you can't make that joke anymore. They're sensitive Gen Zs out there with their feelings, emotional stability inside of their mental instability.
Perfect. That line right there, that's going to help us reach the younger crowd in our audience. Perfect.
I don't know. Like, what can you say for the generations that are coming up? Like, millennials are
Oh.
already fucked up enough,
Oh,
and
yeah, we are.
it's not getting
Yep.
any better. It's
No.
like
I find a new mental trauma every other day. It's
yeah,
great.
like we're
Yeah.
literally the generation of people who buy stuff to make ourselves feel better because we can't get ahead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I buy Lego houses because it's the closest I'm gonna get to owning one.
If I buy
Nice.
enough,
They're
put
all
them
up there. I can
together,
see them.
I might be able to make a shack. I'll do it. I can live.
I don't know. We have the means. We just don't care enough.
This is also true.
I could get into a whole big political rant and pull my soapbox out and everything, but I don't want
That's probably for the best.
Well,
to.
I'm in the one province whose premier seems to be trying to do worse than your premier, so I feel ya.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it could get any worse, but then here comes your premier.
Yeah, there's been this ongoing hold my beer between us that just makes me cry. I think it's been taken down, but our premier did the thing that so many people do and just assume that we would be paying those 50% tariffs. And I'm like, no, that's not how tariffs work. And yeah,
You think you need to know that if you're going to run a government.
you'd think
Ah,
so, but
A lot of people in government are idiots, though, too.
uh,
I mean,
yeah.
Brian, didn't you post in the Retrotopia Discord that Michigan demanded an apology from Canada for smoke?
Oh,
Yes, for the
yes.
smoke
Yeah.
that's going over the border, the Michigan
Yeah.
GOP demanded Canada apologize, and then Trump threatened to put tariffs on Canada for the smoke.
Yeah.
It
YouTube,
was,
what? Oh, God.
and
I
then
didn't realize that we were charging them for that, but
Yeah,
fair
right.
enough.
then the fun part is all the smoke from the west side of the United States is going into BC now, and it's just crickets.
Yep.
Yeah, weird, huh?
Yep. Yeah,
On
they
behalf
have
of
more.
Michigan,
They
my
have
bad.
far more fires than we do for having small land.
And then,
Like one of the things I have to do at work every day is do fire checks about the properties my company owns. So mostly the Western Canada, and then a few spots down in the States. And yeah, it's a whole lot of fires down in there that they don't seem to be paying any attention to.
awesome.
Oh,
And take that on
Not to
top of the
mention how
fact,
many of our forces and resources go down there to help them fight them.
yeah.
Jesus.
But in
Which,
turn, there actually is American firefighters in Quebec helping with those fires. So it's
Well,
they just don't
good.
report on that stuff because it's
course
happy
not.
news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody wants
Yeah.
that.
It has to be the sad news, like your diarrhea lettuce.
Oh my God! Talk about a ride.
Taco Bell leading the cause to prevent it from spreading. Taco Bell, of all places, is trying to keep you from shitting yourself.
Think outside the bun.
Yeah, it's just like nobody thought anything of it at first because it's like, yeah, I had Taco Bell yesterday. This is normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
A little blood in the underwear as well. I mean, that's what's Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if we're going there too, it's like, yeah, I'm still I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, did I eat lettuce and was shitting my brains out when we were supposed to record this, or I don't
Yeah, I
even
had
know,
that
man.
thought, but I wasn't gonna ask. Although, like 4 other people did, so
Yeah, right.
I
Think
don't know why.
everybody
I
and
don't
their
know why
brother.
I bothered to fucking restrain myself. Mostly because I don't know you. If it had been Brian, I would have absolutely asked.
yeah. Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, we've had this recording kicked down the road a few times, and yeah, honestly, I was 5 seconds away from canceling the last one if you didn't, Brian, because I was literally in the same boat of just like,
Well,
I feel like death.
we recorded the weekly episode and I barely made it through that one. Like I was not even turtling. I was like leaking like a faucet because I had to get to the bathroom so bad. So it was just like, all right, bye, have a good time. And I just like hung up on the guys. I was like gone to the
You were
toilet.
sounding a bit rough. I just got through that episode last night.
Oh no, this is the one that's coming up. This is
Oh.
Castle Crashers. I was
I
Oh,
haven't
probably-
listened to the after.
you sounded rough the previous week then too.
oh, then maybe I'm just starting to burn out.
Cool.
Maybe I got to actually take a night and sleep in. I've been waking up at 6 o'clock, like forcing myself up. And then again, like I said, I've been drinking every night. So I think I'm kind of burning the candle at both ends and it's not getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a good
Oh.
call.
Tonight's going to be a night of sleep. Tomorrow I'm going to turn the alarm off and I'm just going to raw dog that morning.
Good on you, Brian.
Can we do it?
Welcome to RetroBytes Neo episode 8 for August 2026. My name is Brian and with me as always is Joe. And today we are talking about what it takes to be an amateur game developer. And to do that, we brought in somebody who has made amateur games and game jams, and I've even actually helped him test his games. It is Daniel, who is my co-moderator over on the Remember the Game Discord. Daniel, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good.
Good, man. Good.
All right, so like I said, the topic today is going to be about amateur game development and kind of what we feel like the industry does to encourage and discourage people from being amateur game developers. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience with game development, Daniel, before we get started here?
Yeah.
Sure. So, I'm in that same generation. I've been playing video games forever, and I have certainly gone, I wonder if I could do that. And turns out these days, it's not hard to make a game. It's very hard to make a good game, but there's so many tools and things now that it's making a game is pretty easy. So I've made four games. Two of them were built on from following tutorials and things. One's a little collectathon. You go through levels collecting bananas as a monkey. And then the other one is a little tiny Metroidvania. And then the two that I made on my own, I did a fan game for Remember the Game to celebrate his Adam's fifth year anniversary.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and then I did a game jam last year, so it was just a really short one. I had a week to make a game from scratch based on a selection of prompts, and so it was a little you were a little worm collecting treasure and trying not to get murdered.
That
Sounds
was
fun.
that was the game I actually game tested for you, and that was really
Yeah.
well done for a week's worth of work. What did you build that off of? Godot?
Yeah. So all four of the games that I've made have been using Godot, which is or Godot. I'm still not sure how to pronounce it. I've heard both.
Whatever.
Good job.
Which is a free game engine that you can get. So which is helps immensely with making games. Was the invention of game engines
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah.
and free ones.
Now, Joe, you're
Yes.
obviously not any way, shape,
No.
or form like a game developer, but you are a graphic designer.
I am.
So that is kind of part of game development, is obviously making the UI and stuff like that. So you do
Mhm.
have some industry knowledge about game design based around what you do as a career.
Yeah, very little,
Have
but
you
it's there.
ever wanted to make a video game in your life? Has it ever been something that appealed to you?
You know, I feel like every nerdy child back in the day has that dream once upon a time of just like video games are amazing. I want to make games, I want to test games, and I want to be a part of that in like some capacity. And I feel like I looked into it like just dip my toes into like, is this something I want to pursue and stuff like that? But the intimidation of just hearing about constant layoffs all the time and just I don't know, game developer just always intimidated me in a that's like a very cutthroat industry. Like you if you're not going indie, you pretty much mean nothing to whatever company you're aligned with, it seems like, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always intimidated me. So I never explored it further. But hey, now I do
Right.
doodles.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so transitioning into the show. So, like I said, today we're talking about why more people than ever are making games and the challenges they've been facing, and of course, what amateur developers bring to the game industry. So, I'm going to throw this one to you, Daniel. What do you think is driving so many people to start making games today?
So I get paid very little, and games cost very much.
Cool.
So
Sounds like a lucrative business.
Episode over. We figured it out.
but a large part of it, one, there's a huge for a market that is so saturated. It's also a lot of cookie cutter.
Really?
Yes.
And if you look outside in indies and you know specifically, games are very formulaic. It's same with movies, same with almost every mass media because it's safe. Why take a risk when that? So there's not a lot of. It doesn't mean games aren't good. I I still spend more money than I should on video games,
Don't
and
we
a
all?
lot of them are AAA studios because they are very good. But you're running out, or there's a lot less ingenuity because, like I said, studios typically are following safer paths, the bigger studios, anyways, because then they don't have to lay off their entire staff when they're not actively, producing something. Um, so it's led to a lot of it's what's led to the rise of indies is people that are willing to take a chance, and a lot of times it's because they have a love for it. These are the people that grew up playing video games,
Mm.
and those are the people that grew up, and now they're the ones that are trying to do something.
The ones
Yeah,
that went for that
And
dream.
making a
Yeah.
game is easier than it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned game engines. Game engines didn't exist 30 years ago. Games
I
games
think-
were built not
Just
not like
hard-coded?
not like they are now. So a game engine is basically for those that don't know, it's basically the programming package that lets you make something. It's the equivalent of having Photoshop. but for an entire video game.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's just the underlying structure of how a video game works. It's if you take Unreal as an example, they've even made it simpler by adding something called blueprints, which is actually going away in the next iteration of Unreal. But blueprints is taking C++ development
Mm.
and turning it into nodes. So all you have to do is know what node does what and then connect them accordingly, and you can actually build an entire game. Expedition 33 was built with something like 95% blueprints on Unreal.
Wow.
Yeah, you were talking about that, and I really wanted to go and look into that because I've used that type of just programming when I was in school for instrumentation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
And it's yeah, that node based visual coding is another uh
yeah, it's
term
like
for that.
what's it called? Not stack.
Oh,
Fuck. My
I know
kid
what you.
used it, but it's basically you can build a game using this very simplistic language. You control a robot. You say robot move forward, and you connect it to the robot, and it'll
Yeah.
follow a series. And I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look it
I
up.
can't. But there's lots of visual builders and stuff, which I'll tell you this right now. A lot of this episode is going to be a lot of me sitting back and just going, "Oh, cool!" And the more references you can tie to, like, it's like Photoshop, my brain will wrap around that. So
But yeah,
Well,
like imagine going back. Photoshop's been around for about 50 years, where you
yeah,
had to do all the stuff that you do in Photoshop without Photoshop. That was what
yeah.
making
yeah,
games was 50 years ago. Like
So
and
without
everything had to be built, like basically built in and into the game itself. You had nothing,
like code by code, we're talking.
yeah, you have to
Yeah,
build your own engine. Like you have to build the foundation of what your game's going to be. And when
yeah,
you license something like Unreal, you're still able to modify it for your own personal needs, but it does
Yeah,
most of the common work for you anyways. So it's why they're
yeah,
great.
this is going to be such an informative episode to idiots like me.
yeah.
I'm excited to sit here.
so I'll throw this question out to you guys. You actually think it's
Okay.
a good thing that building games is so accessibly easy nowadays, or do you think it's creating a lot of people who can think they can do better what's already been done? And I'll give an example of that before you
Yeah.
answer. Go on Reddit, indie games a lot, and sometimes people throw out demos. And this one guy had this RPG, turn-based RPG. He said, "I wrote a story that's probably better than Final Fantasy," and I'm like, "All right, let's
Oh,
check this shit
okay.
out." So I jumped into the game, and I don't even remember the name of it anymore. So I jumped into the demo and I played it, and it literally had the most surface level conversation thing where every character seemed to explain what they're doing because it seemed like he didn't know how to make the character react in a way that would show it. So it just
Fun.
some people think they are the answer. So do you think it's a good thing that everybody has access to this, or should it be a little more? I'm not saying gatekeeping it, but
Yeah.
you'd
I
have to
think
learn first.
I think a lot like it's good and bad that everything's accessible. It's like I think it's probably the leading cause, and Daniel, you'll probably be able to tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, but is like the leading cause of why the market is so oversaturated. It's just because anybody who has a laptop and knows how to pick their nose can get access to any tools and make something that's quote unquote a game. It's out there, it exists, but doesn't mean it's anything credible. But in the same breath, it's also giving access to people that want to pursue this. It's like, here's the tools on the cutting room floor, go off, run to the races with it. So it's like given it's a little bit of both, I feel like, but I do think it's the leading problem to why we have such an oversaturated gaming market right now. But I'm really curious what you think, Daniel.
Yes, yeah, I think it's a good thing overall.
Yeah,
It's definitely a net positive. These people were gonna exist in any market. Go
that's a
and
good
read
point.
any amateur story thing, archive anywheres. You're gonna get really great stuff, and you're gonna get really bad stuff. Whether
Yeah.
it's writing, whether it's graphics. How many times have you seen somebody post something saying art these days is horrible, and they just duct tape a banana to the wall, and it makes $1,000? Like these people are going to exist in any
You,
medium,
yeah,
anywhere,
you make a
and the
very good
internet
point.
has been given them a platform. So that's all going to exist. But if we take away these tools, the good ones that shine through aren't aren't gonna exist either. So it's the trade off you make.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
You're
like
gonna
that
hear
answer.
more goblins, but
Yeah,
it's worth
and you
it.
know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes going and looking at these bad things is hilarious because you can spend 20 minutes playing and you go, okay, I needed a good laugh today, and
Yep.
that
It's
was that was it. Now I'm gonna go
I
back to the Reddit thread and
always
tell that guy what I think about his game
yeah.
because he doesn't know who I am.
You fucking suck. No, I always appreciate when somebody puts their passion on their sleeve, but you got to be a little, have a little humility when you do it. Don't say
Ye-
you're going to be a Halo killer when you're basically Killzone.
Yeah,
Don't do that, right?
yeah.
the shade at Killzone,
Oh.
justified, but the
The
shade at
first,
Killzone there.
yeah, but the first
But yeah,
Killzone
and
was just such a
that's just
generic
it.
game.
Well, it
Yeah.
reminds me of the days of like the Xbox 360 arcade marketplace. There was so much shovel, just
Well,
garbage
have you
on
looked
there.
at Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation
Oh
Store
yeah,
lately?
no,
Yeah,
yeah, I know. It's
yeah.
all still there.
Yeah,
But then there were
the
things
Switch's
like
eShop in
Explosion Man.
particular is really bad for that because previously you had to pass qualifications or something to be able to sell, and they've
Yeah.
gotten rid of some of those steps, so there's a
Ooh,
lot
yeah.
more options, but you get a lot more bullshit.
Yeah, and I think that might be one of the biggest problems we have is there needs to be a better filtering way. Maybe you should have to go through, I don't know, like a site first, and then people will say yay or nay after they play your demo.
Yeah.
Mind you, that would
Yeah,
also probably chop off a lot of early access games that might turn into something great.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, it
A lot
could.
of these basic things. I know one of the things that when I did that game jam last year, one of the things I thought of is like, okay, like obviously 7 days to make everything myself isn't enough time to build this whole great 26 hour game, but I
Yeah.
can take a basic concept and just focus on that. It's not something I would release it for a full game. I mean, Worm Hunter you can beat in maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you die a lot.
unless you're a speedrunner, then you finish it in 1.2 minutes.
Yeah,
Whoa. Do you hold
but
the high
you know,
score, Brian?
like so a lot of times these little projects give you a chance to focus on something and practice and just do that.
No, you're absolutely right on
Yeah.
that one because I like I said there course I was taking that's teaching me Unreal. It is literally how to do the building blocks of every type of genre. Like there's survival game of like how to light a fire and open a door. Like it's simple like that, but it's also how to build the levels, how to make nav meshes so that AI enemies will follow you around, different
Yeah.
ways to
Wow.
control your player pawn. Like it's just a lot of little stuff, and I've started making notes, and I have 119 pages of notes based on the 17 courses I've done so far. So it's definitely lots to learn, but the more I do it, the easier I find, and a lot of stuff is very repetitive. You only have to change something here or there, but building inside of these games, all these little things are starting to translate into a direction for me that I want to take if because I do
Hmm.
want to build a game someday. And right now I'm very direction like I have no direction of what I want to do, but this is actually focusing me on what is more enjoyable for me to make and what is not. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
I
I don't
gotta
even remember what my
imagine
original point was.
it's okay because I got a question for the both of you. I guess is like since these engines exist and it's easier than ever to make games. It sounds like do you think this is encouraging a quality in games like people are able to focus on storytelling and making the game they want to make, not necessarily having to stress about how in the hell am I going to do this? Like does it give create more creative freedom to game development with all these tools being readily available to people?
I'll let you go first, Daniel.
Uh, so again, this is a kind of a yes or no thing. There's a lot more freedom to make the types of games that you want, or to tell the story you want, or to do the thing you want.
Yeah.
Um, but in a planet of 8 billion people, you get a lot of people that think they know what they want and don't.
Mm.
If you ever when you were in high school and you wrote that creative writing assignment the day before, and then everybody had to read theirs, and you realize that there's a whole lot of you can tell this person wrote it the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you run into that a lot too, where people go into this going, I'm going to make a blank game,
Mm.
but that's as far as they've thought. And then when you try to put that into paper, you know, metaphorically, obviously, very few games involve writing anything on paper except maybe sketches.
No,
Um,
see, I,
But
I
yeah.
yeah,
will counter you on that one. Is
Mm.
building your character and your world, like doing the world building, the character, and writing the script for your game, especially if you have dialogue, is more important than the actual game development because it is literally the building blocks of what you're going to have as a final product. So even though it's not like pen and paper, you're just doing it on a Word document, it's still, I believe, one of the most important parts of game design.
yeah, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
I will readjust my statement to encompass that. Or I will go, no, you disagree with me. You're a horrible person.
Yeah,
No,
let's
you're
fight this one
wrong.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fight.
Civil discussion? Pshaw.
Fuck.
No,
This
it's
is
just
the internet, damn it. We do not do civil here.
yeah, exactly. No, what was the question again, Joe?
Oh shit. Pretty much do
Is it good? I think is it good to have these choices for everybody?
pretty much,
Oh.
yeah. Do these tools open up more creativity?
Right.
Or
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
There,
okay. So
go. Run with it.
I think the ability of somebody like look at Stardew Valley was developed by one person.
Yeah.
And that is somebody bringing their dream alive. He had to build everything, all the assets and everything. He had to build the system, and he had to build pretty much how the whole game's going to run. And it is a very complex game.
Yeah,
And
if you get into it big time.
yeah,
There's a lot of
so
systems.
this is somebody building their vision of what they think a farming simulator game should be like. If you've ever heard of the indie game Fez, the guy had to build the game from the engine up. He built his own engine because the ability to shift a 2D environment in 3D didn't exist. So he made a major milestone. He's actually built a game that was, in a sense, more technologically advanced than some AAA titles that had come out the same year. It's opening up the ability for people who might not otherwise be able to get hired in a game studio to be able to express themselves creatively and break the barriers of what people like in video games.
That's a beautiful thing of the indie market too, like we've mentioned a little bit here as well. It's you see just the giant sparks of creativity that these people had an idea, they swung for the fences, they worked their asses off, and just you did it. You made your dream. It's always impressive.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and you're not wrong. Like the downside of all this is there's a lot more to slog through just to find some of these gems. But
yeah.
But,
But like
you
you were
know-
saying too, that's any medium
yeah,
these days.
exactly.
You're right. Yeah.
I've started
So-
going on Kickstarter and looking at games, and because you Sea of Stars was done through Kickstarter, so I was like, why not? Why not jump
I
in there? If somebody
forgot
has
that
an
was a
interesting
Kickstarter.
idea, yeah, if somebody has a great idea, maybe I'll throw in some money, like the little money I have, and throw it their way. Just because, again, I support people living their dream. I'm trying to do that myself right now. So even
Yeah.
if your game doesn't hit me as, oh my god, this is amazing, it doesn't mean I want you to be discouraged from building your game, because if you're building a Souls like, I am not on board, but you have
Call
at
me.
it.
Call
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. And I've supported a few games on Kickstarter. One of them allegedly is getting close to release, but we'll see.
I feel
Is
like
that,
that's a lot with Kickstarter, unfortunately.
What's
too.
that one called? Starfield?
What's never heard of that one.
Star Citizen. No, what is it called? The one that
Oh,
has
I thought you were doing a
I
dig.
thought you were taking a jab at Starfield. I was like,
Yeah.
I think Star Citizen. What, the one that just takes money but will never release?
Yeah,
I think that's Star Citizen. I think.
yeah. Star Citizen, record-breaking crowdfunding project that has surpassed $1 billion US in total player funding, but has yet to release a game.
Yeah. So, and for anyone out there, if you're supporting something on Kickstarter or BackerKit or any of these, you are not buying something, you are investing in something. There is
Yes.
a chance that you will not get a product.
Yeah,
I want to emphasize that because the number of times that people get upset about that because they don't realize what they're doing. So like
You
that
get
that that is
Great
part of the
PSA.
risk.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get what your tier says you're going to get. You know, you get a T-shirt and a hearty handshake for
Yeah.
the
You might
$1,000 tier.
there are projects, and there is no recourse if it doesn't pan out, because sometimes that's how investments work.
But sometimes it's still worth investing. Just because it doesn't come out with a product doesn't mean the guy didn't try his darndest. Maybe things just went
Exactly.
south, and he
Yeah.
couldn't find somebody to publish the game. Like, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Power Wash Simulator was published by Square Enix, and they're considered an indie game because it's built by an indie studio. The second game came out and they published it themselves.
Yeah, with
They
credibility and everything,
just
they're able
needed
to.
money.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys know anybody that spends hours and hours playing Power Washer Simulator?
Never heard of a guy like that. Never.
No,
If we find him, I'm gonna kiss him.
me too.
Nice.
That's
Oh,
why
man.
your mirror has all those lip marks on it. Okay.
Yeah, lips. All right, little cinnamon rings all over my mirror. But Daniel, why do you, as an amateur developer, want to create games in the first place? Like, what is your motivation behind learning this stuff?
I like learning stuff. If it's a field I'm interested in, I like learning stuff.
Fair
So
enough.
I didn't
Yeah.
start learning how to make games because I wanted to become the next star. The fuck, I forgot the guy that made that game. Toby Chalks. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
I do it because it's like, okay, this is cool. I want to learn how to do that. And one of the very first courses I did was the just a little 2-bit platformer. And I'm like, okay, I follow these steps, and I'm like, cool, I have a little guy running around. And then I build on from there. I'm like, okay, well, now instead of using his graphic, I want to make a little a little gorilla. So then I had to learn how to make pixel art. And doing pixel art is very hard, even if especially if it's in 2 bits.
It has. I do design, and I don't even touch pixel art. It's intimidating to me.
I did not realize how hard pixel art is compared
Yeah.
to like traditional art. I'm nowhere near your thing, but like I do know how to do some art. I've made stickers, I've made t-shirt designs and things. I
am
draw
by
better
no
than-
means a
than-
professional, sir. Don't you worry. Just because I am the loudest graphic designer does not mean I'm a good one.
Yeah, but
Hire Joe now.
No.
I mean,
that was my
the art
reaction.
you
Jesus
did-
Christ.
the graphics
What
you
does that
did
say
for
about
retro
me?
salvage is awesome. You definitely know
thank
what
you.
you're doing.
Yeah.
It was a lot of back and forth figuring out, but thank you for that.
That is a sign of somebody who's good at what they do, though, is that back and forth. I have talked to people who are like, this is what you're getting because I don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah.
So that's, I will take somebody who may not be as good, but can do that back and forth.
Oh yeah. The most important thing is listen to your client at the end of the day. It's like I have no problem saying this. It's like I had way other ideas for that logo, but end of the day, it's what the client wanted. I'm still happy with it. It's a good logo. It looks great. And I'm happy the client's happy. That's awesome. But end of the day, it's making sure you don't put your pride in the way when designing stuff like that, especially for somebody. Now, when you're doing your own thing and designing something for yourself or producing art, that's obviously an entirely different story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can create, you can do whatever at that point.
Yeah. But jump back to the question. So that was
good
how I
idea.
got into it. I wanted to learn how to do this. And then it was just the waterfall effect. I wanted to learn. So I followed the course. I made the little platformer. I'm like, cool. Now I want to change my graphics. And then I thought that if you've ever played my monkey platformer, it has an idle animation. If you sit there, he blinks. It's stupid. Like, but I'm like, okay, like how do I do this? So I was looking.
Hey, it's a detail. That's good.
It's something.
So then
that
I
you
looked.
have
I'm like,
to do,
okay, so if you're not actively doing anything, it runs this animation, which is nothing, blink, nothing.
Yeah, and you had to learn how to do that.
Yeah, and then
animating
exactly
in
that.
3D is no friggin' joke. I mean, it's what part of the course, like part of the game arts course I'm doing, and the animating part is just, it's so tedious, and you make one mistake and it can snowball into this, just you have to restart the project because you're so fucked now.
So is that something that has tools streamlined for it yet, or not really? Or are you
Kind
really
of
just
yes,
skeleting or like puppeteering models like
kind of
frame by
yes,
frame?
kind of no. You build the mesh and then you build a skeleton upon the mesh, and then
Yeah,
yeah, programs like 3ds Max, they have templates. What do they call it?
No,
like
they
animation
they have those
templates.
now. They didn't 20
Yeah,
years ago. My
no,
first college experience was 3D animation. So we used Maya back then because that was the industry standard.
Mhm.
But all the same things. But yeah, you have a lot more tools now that I didn't have then.
yeah, and there's actually built inside of 3ds Max because they actually bought the company who developed this. I can't. It's just I cannot remember what it's called, and I don't want to open 3ds Max right now. But it's essentially it'll give you the skeletons, and you can like not pin, but you can set the skeletons to the mesh, and it'll connect to the mesh in order to create the animations, and then you can adjust the mesh so that it doesn't like do funny like movements or fold
Like clip
over.
into itself and
Yeah,
stuff
clip
like that.
into itself, and then you have pre built in animation, so you can actually make a walking
Ah,
animation just simply by choosing that option, and the character will walk or the skeleton will walk.
and then you can tweak it to make it your own,
Yeah,
kinda.
exactly. You can set it on a
Ah,
path.
okay.
Like you can do your full animation inside of 3ds Max, and 3ds Max and Maya are just like sister programs where Maya's
Yeah.
used more for like movies and special effects.
Yeah, I've
3ds
heard of
Max
Maya.
is used more for games, and they're essentially like they're both made by Autodesk. So they're
Oh,
essentially
same
the
company.
same thing with just, they fucked up the user interface so you can't learn both at the same time.
That was
But
apparently a very deliberate choice. I can't
yeah.
remember what the reasons were. One of the people that we had was actually one of the guys that designed Maya. Uh, but there was basically, I think it was something along the lines of they didn't want you bringing bad habits from one into the other, so they deliberately made things different.
Yeah,
I
and that
get
makes sense because it
yeah,
is
Yeah.
kinda.
the
It's a
functionality
pain
of
in the
them
ass when you're
is
trying to use
way
both.
different. Yeah, the
Yeah.
application, like application and the use of them is it's different industries. But if you know Maya, you can build 3D models for video games, and same thing with 3ds Max, vice versa.
Yeah.
It's like knowing Photoshop and Illustrator. Got it. Okay.
That's
Yes.
actually a great comparison.
Yep. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, one's vector based, one's literally pretty much everything else.
Well,
And
you'd love to hear there's something called splines in 3ds Max, and they work just like vectors.
That's
there you
yeah,
go. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Would
There's a lot if you start digging into 3D model design, there's actually a whole lot that will translate better than you think it will.
oh gosh, that
You'll be ripping your
I
hair out
do
for
not
other
need
reasons.
another pet project. Do not try and sell me on this crazy
Oh,
train.
and Adobe has a program called
Uh is it just straight up
Substance
animate?
Painter. It's called
Oh
Substance
no, I haven't
Painter.
dug
So
into that.
you take a 3D model, you hack it up. So painting a 3D model isn't actually painted in 3D. What you do is
Yeah.
you flatten the image, and then you basically take that model with the flattened image, and it's called UV mapping or
Oh, I was so
UVW
bad at
mapping.
that. I was
So,
so bad at that.
I'm still learning that. But you take that and you put it in Substance Painter, and you can paint it like it's a 2D object, which acts a lot like Photoshop, but also
Yeah.
has pre-built in textures and stuff like that. And you can make some pretty realistic looking crap in a very short time.
Well, yeah, I've actually done the bare minimum basic version of that, which is actually Minecraft skins. Because yeah, you can take those,
That's
flatten them out completely, and fully design and create whatever the heck you want, and then just reload it in and form it into a 3D model.
it's the same principle, just infinitely more complex.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I know that is a very dumbed down version of that, but yeah,
And I mean, like when I did this was 20 years ago. So when 10,000 triangles was a lot, and now you
yeah.
have 10,000 triangles just defining Kratos' ass in the latest God of War.
You want to know what's funny is 3ds Max and Blender, they use quads, and then the
Oh,
engine translates that into tries.
Yes.
Because,
interesting.
yeah, because it'll fuck up your model if you have tries or n-gons, which is anything more than 4 sides. So I don't know. It
Yeah.
90% of my problem is I go through my modeling, and then I ended up with like an n-gon or a try there, and then all of a sudden my entire model's completely fucked.
Ooh,
Yeah.
And it's
that's
all
no fun.
We
because I like put a roof on a house.
yeah. We because anytime you're forcing the system to try and we used triangles when I was doing it, and basically my instructor gave us a bunch of sticks, and he's like, make this, and then start twisting them, and then try to make a flat surface out of it. Whereas you can't not have a flat surface with triangles. It's just not possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas you can with the 4 points.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
UV mapping is the bane of my existence.
it's but yeah, it's the same. Anyone who's made a Minecraft skin, it's exactly like that. But just like I said, it gets infinitely more
Had
complex.
15 more steps and an entire Z-axis or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're having trouble picturing this, go look up papercraft, whatever is something that interests you, and you'll see those cold paper models that get spread out into 6,000 things. It's like that.
There you go.
Yeah. No, this actually went right into our next topic, basically the reality check, because kind of dumping some real knowledge on there, like the complexity that goes in behind it and why you have like 4,000 or 5,000 names on the credits of a AAA game.
Yeah.
Mostly because you have departments of people building assets, and everything has to be modeled to perfection and then get, proof checked and then verified and approved, and then it gets sent off to the artist who actually adds the textures, and then it gets sent off to the 3D level designer who's already sitting in the engine gray blocking his level out. It's just, it goes beyond that and beyond that and beyond that, and then you got the C-suite who's telling them they don't have enough money.
And that's the other thing too, with all these positions you're mentioning, I gotta imagine it's also in a AAA setting, add 15 to 20 people per that position on top of it.
Oh,
It's
it's
not
more
just
than
one
that.
guy.
And there's some of these people whose contribution to the actual game was 30, amounts to 30 seconds. But
Yeah.
it's the underlying work that they might have done to this department. It's,
Tweaked three
this
lines, and that's
this
why they're in
guy's
the
entire
credits.
job
but
is
it helps.
to edit when you walk closer to the light, it gets brighter.
Yeah.
So he may not even have done work on the game specifically, but he's part of the department that, like, okay, we create this and this is what gets used. So crediting is a very weird thing. The more you find out about what gets credited in a movie or a game,
what's too far, kind of. Yeah.
No, it's
but
impressive. Like there's a studio called Snowden Studios here in Ottawa, and I don't want to call them a feeder studio, but they're basically a contracting studio. So they work for Microsoft mostly. And what they do is kind of the stuff that Microsoft just doesn't want to do in-house, or whoever say makes Forza, just if it's like beneath them, so they contract somebody out, and they're part of a global network of studios like this. And that's what you see a lot in the credits is, the people from this studio there, and then you got to go through the whole, from top to bottom, because everybody needs their name on the credits nowadays. So it's, you got another 500 people there, and then one of their sister studios in Europe, well, they get credited, and another 500 people there, and it just keeps going and going. And like Daniel said, their contribution literally could have been the lighting.
Yeah, and it's like a double-edged sword then, because, okay, you take away that tiny lighting thing, like Daniel used as example, you're going to notice then, you're going to be like, oh, why the heck did they not finish it? Like, fix this. Yeah, and it's like, what do you do then?
Yeah. Do I read every name in the credits? No, but I do almost, especially if I finish the game on a stream or something, I will always play the entire credits.
Yeah,
because
let
it
them
is
play.
Fascinating. Plus, I like looking for funny sounding names.
When I'm sitting there, like, because I know there's going to be an after credit scene, and I'm sitting there, and I'll actually just start picking out people's names and start making up backstories for them in my mind, just to keep myself entertained. I
like looking for the studio dogs.
The studio what?
Studio dogs. A lot of studios.
Oh yeah.
That's become one of the things that I like looking for.
Yeah, I like those little things.
The fact that I have a horrible ear for it, I always like looking at the music section and finding out, like, are they licensed songs, or were they in-house, or is it performed by the same person who was voicing the character?
Oh yeah.
So those are the two sections that I typically tend to look for in that.
I shamefully
Now,
probably should pay more attention.
Yeah, Sea of Stars gave you an option to fast forward the credits, and
Yeah.
I just held that X button down.
Well,
And then
that
when you
was
get to
also for the fundraiser, like
the
the
Kickstarters.
backers.
No, the
Yeah.
Kickstarters went to super speed.
Oh yeah.
Because there
Yeah.
was so many
There was
Kickstarters
a
in that game.
lot of them.
Oh my god, yeah.
And there was our compatriot Keegs in there as well. You
Yeah,
gotta look
yeah.
really
I looked for his
fast.
name and I missed it. I couldn't find it. And I wasn't going to go through it again.
First
Fun fact,
time,
does he know where? Does
yeah,
he know where
you
his
get
thing
a
is?
you get a number, and that you can warp right to your tombstone or whatever it is in that crypt you find in the game where all the Kickstarters are. Because he
Yeah.
gave me the
Oh.
number, and I went to his little gravestone and laid
Oh,
some flowers, and I cried.
Send me that later.
I don't have it
curious.
anymore. This was like
shit.
2 years ago. Just send him a message and ask for it. He'll tell you to
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
off.
I'm scared.
He'll probably fill it out for you.
Yeah,
All right.
he's all proud. Funny part is I was talking to him too, and he goes, "Yeah, I should probably play that."
That is in 100% speeds.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Uh,
awesome.
Yeah, no, it was I busted out laughing because I remember when it came out, he was like, it was a Kickstarter and I'm in the game, and it's like, here's the number, go check it out. And I'm like, yeah. And so when we did this latest playthrough before we did the new game plus, I was talking to him, and it was because I sent him a picture on Snapchat,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's all he said. Wrote back was, yeah, I should probably play that, and I was done. I was just like, that is probably the answer I expected the least.
Is it though? You knew it in
no.
your heart. Come
Did
on.
Would I have expected it? No. Am I surprised? Also, no.
No.
Do you guys have any?
Is Keegs in this in your community?
Not in our community, no.
no.
But I talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
Keeks, get in here.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any examples of amateur or solo developers that really did create remarkable games? Like, I know I brought up Fez and Stardew Valley, but can you think of any more?
Those are too good. The guy that did Undertale and Deltarune.
Yeah.
Oh,
the-
yeah, Toby Fox. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Undertale is such a funny story because he literally
Yes.
didn't know how to code, and he made everything out of it in if-then statements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, if you know anything about programming, you were probably going, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, explain if then statements very
Well,
briefly.
it's literally boils down to, if this happens, then do that.
Yeah,
That's literally what an if then or if else statement or whatever you want to call it.
which you can imagine the
Sorry.
branching tree that
Yeah.
makes if you do a whole game.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's
Did not know
do
that.
that.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently his coding was so bad, and like obviously didn't follow any of the standard industry standards of organization and note taking, that it was almost unreadable by when people like broke open the game there to just kind of look at his source code. Just he managed to get it working. Like, there's statements in there from what I've heard that do absolutely nothing, but because they didn't break anything, he never removed them.
I love that. That's
that-
coding at its finest.
Yeah, and
Oh,
he's
man.
considered one of the best indie developers ever. So kudos to him for friggin' rearranging how we think about coding.
Yeah. I know Balatro was that solo developer? I didn't dig deep into these. I just grabbed a couple of names.
Well, it's a small studio, anyways. It's
Yeah,
not a lot of people. Like Sabotage Studio was under 50 people, I think, when they built the Messenger. They're definitely less. Even what are they called? Expedition 33 Studio. Yeah, as soon as I said Expedition 33, I blanked.
Yep.
I was working hard just not to mention Expedition
Yeah.
33 because I feel like I bring it up every
Well,
goddamn episode.
yeah, it's your version of Chrono Trigger, right? I don't shut up about Chrono Trigger. You don't have
You
to
know
shut up
what?
about E33.
What's Chrono
you're
Trigger?
not
I've
wrong.
never heard of it.
Yeah, it's an indie game that is very niche.
Yeah.
No, but anyways, the Expedition 33 studio, which I was hoping one of you would have popped on and looked up.
I was googling something else. Sorry.
Get
Is it
get the hot
Sandbox?
big boobs off your
Sandheim?
screen.
No, they make me happy.
Anyways, so they were a studio of like 8 people or some ridiculously small amount, and they built a game of like that caliber. So That was the
Yeah, but
point I
they're
was trying
French,
to
so they get
make.
like they only have to work like 4 hours a day because
Sandfall.
they have great. That's it. I knew it was sand
Yeah.
something.
We got there. It only took 20 minutes, and Brian
Yeah.
to point out I'm looking at boobs.
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 What about studio or not studios? What about games that have large publishers? Like, what is it? Journey was published by Sony Entertainment, but it is still considered an indie game because it was a small studio. I mentioned Power Wash Simulator by Square Enix. It happens
So
all the time. Do you
there's a
think that?
huge difference between a developer and a distributor, or and a lot of people don't realize that. For one, which is, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
expect the
I
average
don't.
person. Um, a distributor is basically says, "Hey, we believe in your game. Either we'll put money into it, but we get some of the profits, and they just distribute it. They have nothing to do with producing it. Uh, it's just a lot of times they go in with this is our mock up, or this is that, and they say, "Yep, we'll distribute it."
And they're more hands off. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the one they did like Enter the Gungeon and anything? Devolver Studios.
Yeah,
They're a distributor for a lot of indies.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, typically they have very, very little to do with the way of production. The most you might get is we don't distribute a game that has these subjects. So if your game has that, go somewhere else.
yeah, and
But that's about it. They once you get the developer gives them the game, they distribute it, they make it available, and then they take X amount of profits or whatever their specific contract or something is.
and people don't realize that happens a lot because not only is your distributor taking a cut of the profits, if you put it on any platform like Steam, Nintendo, PlayStation, whatever, they're taking a cut of the profits. Like PlayStation is the industry standard of 30%, which I think is pretty much what the entire every platform uses as their standard. So
Yeah,
you're already
that's a
30.
standard, and that's a standard for distribution of just about everything.
Yeah.
Whether
So
it's gaming or anything, that's almost
Yeah, that's
always
true.
the
yeah, so
platform
they're
standard.
taking 30%. You also have like your distributor taking a cut, which is probably close to 30%. Now, I don't know if it's like cumulative on the total amount or, they take 30% after,
I'm sure that's negotiated contract to
Yeah,
contract,
so-
honestly.
but then when you
there's-
use Unreal or Unity, they don't charge you unless you make a certain amount of money, and then they take their cut. So there's more of your profits gone. And it just keeps snowballing. If you use 3D assets off of like Fab Marketplace, which is the 3D model marketplace for Unity and Unreal, you have to license those, and you can get free models. But if they get used in a published game, you got to start paying for those as well. And it just eventually, by the end of it, you like might end up owing money if you aren't smart with how you allocate your funding.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine.
This is
doing
why
that.
accountants are important if you do a
for
big
real.
enough project of anything.
And that's why they get spots in the credits.
That's true.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be here if I didn't crunch numbers for you idiots.
And it's actually, I think, one of the biggest reasons why a lot of indie studios don't actually make any money off their games, or at least enough money to build another game, because they also have to pay their employees or themselves. And by the end of the day, you've got a game out there, and if it doesn't hit like massive numbers, then you're pretty much breaking even if you're lucky.
Yeah, lucky being the operative word there.
Well, it's the same thing. You hear about movies that are like, the movie made $30 million. It didn't break even. And you're like, how does $30 million not breaking even for a small movie? But all those little things are important.
Add up. They add up quick. Yeah.
It's all the costs people don't think about that actually takes place behind the scenes. And this is how Sony is so successful, is because, if you get a Call of Duty selling like 10 million copies in a year, well, you take that at what, $90, so you're $100 million, let's just say, just for a round number.
Yeah.
And Sony's taking 30 million of that for themselves.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's amazing how much, when you start learning this, that's why working for a studio is sometimes better to start out with, because you can develop the skills you need that you don't have to hire somebody for, and that will cut down on your costs.
Yeah.
And you're not responsible for all this overhead and everything else.
Yeah.
And,
Exactly.
Yeah, you're just a drone honing your skills, essentially.
Yeah, and you
And this
learn
is
the
why a lot of these
process.
one-person games,
Yeah.
you hear about the guy, it's like, "Yeah, it took me 10 years to make this because I had to do my day job."
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
the
don't know
other
about you
thing
all,
is
but coming home after doing working does not really always lend me to, being in the mindset to go and work, another 8 hours on something.
yeah,
Oh
you
yeah.
got to be locked in and focused, and you got to build yourself like a not a timeline, but kind of a schedule of things you need to do, not exactly when they're needed to be done by. So keep
Yeah.
yourself on track.
Especially when it's like a passion project like that too, where there's not a hard deadline, where it's just like I want to make this,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's good to set those goals and make sure they're attainable and at what phase and all that stuff.
Yeah, and don't get ahead of yourself. Don't put the
Yeah,
cart before the
don't jump
horse,
to
so to
step
speak.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes really hard because if like you're building the character, let's take an example of me on this course. Like I got the character to move, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I wonder if I can make him crouch. Then I started doing that, and that wasn't part of the course. And next thing you know, I'm like just way off in the wrong
Down the rabbit
direction,
hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm now starting to get to the point where I'm breaking the character. So end up having to delete like 3 hours of work just to get him back to where he needs to be for the course.
But in the same breath, how much did you learn doing that?
About the same I would have learned if I just stuck on the course.
Okay, well, I thought that was going to get
Yeah.
philosophical. Dang
The
it.
o- yeah, the only thing
It
is
it can go both ways.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
learning some stuff that from trial and error by using the nodes I've learned what they do, but at the same time, like we'll take an example of one of the games, because a couple of the games I actually started after I finished the section of that course. Like I'm doing a tower defense game, and I started adding stuff to it, and I kept adding. Like I wanted to do a random spawner of the enemies, so when they come out of their base,
Mhm.
it's a one of 3 random sprites that come out, and I got it to work. The only problem is he walks off in the wrong direction. So I finally fixed that because it's meant to be on a 2D plane, and he walked off on the Y-axis for some stupid fucking
Oh,
reason.
that's interesting.
So I finally fixed that. Now they're walking against each other, and when they meet, they're supposed to attack each other. And I had to make the collision boxes and stuff. So I got all that working, and then as soon as I got them to hit each other, the game crashed, and that's pretty much where I am right now. But it's just
Yeah, you got to figure out that.
everything is a process, and Googling is your best friend.
Well, that seems, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but like both of you seem to have a similar drive in game development where it's like solving a puzzle is what
That's pretty
helps
much
drive you.
that's half of what it
That's
is.
how I do just about everything that's not my job.
Yeah.
Just a jump back to we were talking about things that I do in my free time. One of the things that I sell at some of these markets and things is tiny Lego kits. And it
Yeah,
was
I've seen some of your
because I
stuff,
don't
yeah.
I don't have room for a giant Ecto 1. So I'm like, well, how can I make a tiny one? And then how can
Yeah.
I make it tinier? And now it's 35 pieces and it's, about an inch
Wow.
long, but it's still very recognizable as the Ecto 1.
And he charges
awesome.
$350 for it.
No, I charge $10 Canadian, so like 38
I
cents
thought,
American.
I thought you were going to double down and just be like 700.
Yeah, that's an Ecto 1, baby.
But it all started with how can I make this but smaller? And that's
awesome.
So many of the things that I do and I design or do that is based on that sometimes I do something with it like these kits that I sell, and sometimes I'm like, cool, I have satiated that curiosity. Now
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
go
did
and
that.
play Marvel Rivals and shoot somebody.
Yeah.
It's funny because I usually have a problem like self-learning because I get kind of bored or something confuses me and I'm like, I don't feel like figuring it out. Then I go play video games. I've been having the exact opposite problem lately. I am playing video games and I stop because I want to go back to trying to learn it. And for me, it's kind of why I did this is having loved video games my whole life, like you guys have. I
Yeah.
really want to see what goes on in building a video game now because I'm at that point in my life. I've always been curious how stuff works, and that's why am where I am right now. Well, one of the reasons, the other is burnout,
Yeah.
but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it shows too, like, find your medium for something like that too. Like, for game development, for me, yeah, no, I'd probably be like you were saying, Brian. It'd be something I'd like, all right, I'm done with this, walk away, go play something. but I dig into like video editing, for example. I'm completely self-taught on editing videos and stuff like that, and editing this nightmare. But it's all stuff I've learned by, okay, I want to be able to do this. How do I separate out these tracks? Let me Google, let me research, let me do this. There's got to be a faster way to do this. Start looking into shortcuts and things like that, downloading plugins, and it's finding your niche for stuff like this
Niche.
too.
What is with you Americans and saying niche?
Look,
Yeah.
we talked about it beforehand. I'm on a really weird word kick today. I don't know what's wrong. It's
Okay.
probably the lack of sleep.
Well, it's pronounced niche, but you know,
Hey,
I've seen what your guys' education system is like. So,
or what now?
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
that got cut.
I will tell you,
No, it didn't. I don't care.
we know each other because of exactly that process.
That's
Adam
true.
started his first podcast, which was Comedy Odyssey, because he wanted
Yeah.
to learn how to record audio and work with it. So then he did that, and then that led to, and then he got tired of talking about comedy, so he started branching out, and then he wanted to start talking about video games, and then he
Yeah.
created that, and it snowballed. And now he
Oh,
doesn't even
oh
do
boy,
comedy
howdy.
anymore, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate because he's a very funny guy.
Yes, I've been to a couple of his shows. It's a good time.
Yeah, same here. I used every time he was in town to do a show or go see.
I do credit him
But
for
yeah,
me
exactly that
taking this
mentality
path.
is I want to learn how to do this.
Yeah. I credit him, like Adam Blank, for me taking this path
Yeah.
because he did talk a lot about his journey on, like, Remember the Game and his subsequent Patreon podcasts. And it got me thinking, like, I do like learning by doing. Just like
Yeah.
Joe, I'm sure you're the
Yeah.
same way. You learn
Yeah.
to edit videos by editing videos, not by
Exactly.
reading a lot of books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the bulk of it.
When it came to Retrotopia, I learned how to edit the episodes by trial by fire. And if you listen to some of the early episodes, you can hear my glaring mistakes. Like
Yes.
there is a lot of them. Like it
I
is.
love you, but yes.
Yeah, I can't even go back and re-listen to them because they are just so bad. But I finally figured it out how to level our audio, how to
Mhm.
make the transitions, how to fade in properly, fade out, add a little bit of music as the voices start, just little tiny details. And it was every time I had a problem, I would go to Google and I say, how do you fix this problem? And then I'd scrub away the AI and I'd go look for
Yeah.
videos of people solving the problem.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's how I learn. And that's basically what's going on with Unreal right now is the same thing. It's like I run into a problem. How do I make a randomizing monster spawner? And then it'd be like, oh, okay. Well, and the guy goes through it. It's like, you want to use this blueprint here because this is what this does. And he explains it to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm understanding this. And then next time I have to do it, I am able to do it on my own because I've taken my notes, I've drawn out my blueprint charts and stuff like that. So that's how I self-learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how I've self-taught myself just about everything I've self-taught myself. And I've got one of those brains that can do that because not everybody does.
I
No,
have
that's
one of
very
those
true.
brains that can't. I have like, you call yourself stupid monkey, but it sits inside my brains with its symbols.
Yeah. And just playing with something is how every program that I've become good at is based on that. One of my previous jobs, I was a scheduling manager for a security company, and the proprietary program that we used, I could do more stuff with that one than anybody, including one of our managers who was one of the pilot people on it. Because I just sat there, I'm like, what does this do? What does this do? What does this do?
Yeah. We had one of those
Um,
when I was in the military. There was a system, and I became an administrator for the squadron I worked with. And people were surprised how much information I could pull out on the entire unit just because I
Yeah.
had like the full access to it. And my boss found out about it. And then, his boss found out about it. Next thing you know, I'm getting daily requests. I need this information about this statistic. And I'm just like, all right. I make you make the big dog and pony show that it's going to be, oh, it'll take me about an hour to pull the information and I have to organize it, blah, blah, blah. Cause you don't want to you don't want them to think you're too good. So then I'd sit there and go on break for 3 hours and I'd come back, be like, click, 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 send.
Yeah, that's a secret to anything, honestly. Like even my line of work, it's gonna take me 3 weeks to probably get that together, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I did it in 2 days, but you don't need to know that.
Yeah.
But you bill them for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
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 All right, shifting focus here a little bit. How would you go about getting your passion project discovered? Like, what do you think would be the best idea? And this is a hypothetical. Obviously, none of us
Yeah.
here are, you know, published developers. So take it as a grain of salt. I'm just kind of curious. What do you think is the best avenue to get your game published?
If you're starting out small, platforms like itch.io,
Yes.
Hmm.
you know, their entire thing is platform, and it does, itch. If you've never gone there, go and look at it. Doesn't matter if it's pen and paper games, like homebrewed RPG things, modules for published systems. Like it's just a platform for people. Now, with all the catches of that is you've got to wade through a lot of stuff to try and find some gems.
Yeah, like we were talking earlier, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean that's the same thing. But like it's a platform specifically for showcasing your lower stuff. Steam makes it really easy to put out a platform or
true.
self-produced thing there. So there's a lot of that. I've played a
Wasn't
lot of
Game Pass doing a thing for a while with
Well,
developers?
if Game Pass will buy your indie for the development costs in order, well, and then to put it on Game Pass, the problem is you have to be publishable, so you still have
Yeah.
to be able to publish it.
yeah.
Okay.
Typically at the point that at least from my understanding and this is all armchair, I'm not in that industry. Typically Game Pass picks you up when you've developed at least a definite proof of concept. It's like this is at this point, this is what we have. This is our demonstration that we can produce
In
a full
layman's
product of some
terms,
sort.
you're on your third draft essentially. It's like this
The-
is actually something presentable.
The same idea of getting your game a publisher is the same idea as pitching a movie script. You're selling the game with a lot of graphics and concepts and over the top presentations to a board full of people with money.
Got it.
So it's all the same, but no, itch.io is a really great site. I like people who put like they build like an Instagram or a social media and they constantly post updates and stuff like that. That's like putting your stuff on a platform is getting it out into the world, but getting it downloaded or seen is the hard part.
Yeah, I'm very big into like Pokemon ROM hacks and stuff too, and 90% of them I find are when I'm like literally doom scrolling on the toilet YouTube shorts, and I'm like, oh, hey.
Yeah. What for all that I despise social media, but like
me too.
This is that being said, I'm still on it, so obviously
to an extent,
yeah. But like, it's that's how you get a word out.
Yeah, end of the
I
day,
can't, you can't afford. Well, I was gonna say you can't afford to make a commercial, but who the fuck watches TV now, anyways?
Yeah, you probably can. Believe it or
Make a
not.
YouTube short. It feeds the low attention span of today's generation of social media. And I'm not talking about just like Gen Z and Gen Alpha. I'm talking everybody back all the way to 1983. Before that, we were smarter.
Yeah, we're all broken now.
Yeah,
100%.
But even boomers now are getting addicted to their phones.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
the number of older people I know that 10 years ago were like, I'll never have a phone or anything, and now that they had the phone,
done. That's my mom in a nutshell. She is literally the woman who said it'll be a cold day in hell before you put a stupid little brick in my hand. And now, like, she has a smartwatch, she has the phone, and she knows how to use it. So she's like, where were you?
When did Facebook launch? That was the end of the boomers and technology.
Yeah.
But
do you think luck has anything to do with getting your game being successful? Do you think some of these guys just kind of got lucky if we were there at the right time?
To an extent, I would imagine.
Yes, but luck will play a part in any amount of success. How much luck is going to depend, but I mean, there's there's always going to be the right people seeing your product or something.
Yeah,
but you can't like luck doesn't matter if the right people see your product if you don't have a product.
That's also true.
That's
Yeah,
true.
so I mean, so yeah, yes, luck plays a part, but there's also only so much that luck can do for you.
Yeah, no one's gonna be like, I have an idea for a game, and then fall ass backwards into full development and it being seen and published and being a, a worldwide success.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
exactly.
They have to have something functional.
Yeah.
I think of No Man's Sky when I think about indie games all the time and
Oh,
how much of a flub of
yeah,
a promise they made. So many friggin' promises. Explore the universe, infinite amount of planets, you can do all this kind of stuff, and then you
yep.
get to the game and you're basically mining rocks for
Resource farming.
endless
Yeah,
hours. And it wasn't until like what 5-6 years later that it hit the level of what they basically promised. I
yeah,
mean, it's a great game now,
yeah. It
but
is.
Yeah.
I always considered that game lucky that it didn't just die in obscurity, because it really
Oh yeah,
had nothing to offer when it first came out. Because I bought it launch day. I
same.
was pissed.
Well, was it like 2 days in? Two people like literally like, hey, we are definitely in the same exact spot, and no, you can't see each other,
Yeah.
and just pretty much straight up like, yeah, you guys, no, it's not true.
Yeah. And
Yeah, that was such a slap in the face. I remember that. I bought it hook, line, and sinker. Like I was there
oh, the hype
gathering
train was
resources
huge.
for. Well, I was gathering resources for days and days. It's like, come on, there's gonna be a payoff, right? Right?
Yeah, and the whole thing was just fly from system to system until you
Yeah.
found the end, and it was just like then you restart, and it was like why? Why?
Why?
But
Yeah,
then they
exactly.
started adding stuff. They added the bases, and then the like you
I
could
was gonna
buy
say, do you ever go
frigates.
back?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah,
haven't been back in a few iterations of the
same. I
updates,
think I
but
jumped in at base building.
yeah, that's where I played.
Yeah, and yeah, I couldn't tell you what's going on now, but
But
oh
yeah, well, I guess we're kind of all over the place here. I do have
yeah, we
notes here,
are.
and I keep trying to just throw a question out from different categories as we go along. But I think we've been having a great discussion.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is definitely not what I expected, but I'm happy with what we're chit chattering about. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah. Let's start wrapping it up then. So,
Yeah.
Daniel, in your words, why do you think it's important for amateurs to develop games? Why do you think it's important for the kids to get out there and express their creativity?
Any medium of any sort needs new blood and new ideas.
Mm.
I don't admittedly I can't speak about everybody, but I don't want to see the 17 versions of the same things. I want new ideas. I want to see new things. Expedition 33 proved that you can still have a successful turn-based RPG in a modern environment.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
But
did
with
Sea of
some
Stars, which came out
studios,
before it.
Square might
Calm
say,
down, Brian.
Sea of Stars proved that you could have reaction-based turn-based RPGs. There you go. See, I can appeal to both of yous.
They
You got your modern Chrono Trigger. You got Expedition 33,
Which also has a
but
lot of Chrono Trigger references in it.
Brian.
yes.
Stop it. Let him make his point.
Yeah. I've only got two hands, so you're both covered. You need new ideas, you need new things, and some of that, like we've said, you're not going to get in a big studio where they have to play it safe. So new people coming up with stuff, and that's going to involve pitfalls and things. But you need this new blood introducing anything, or else it grows stagnate.
That's awesome.
That-
Yeah, no,
I
it makes
don't-
perfect sense.
Yeah, I agree with
New
it
set of
all.
eyes like changes everything.
It's not only that. I think we need them because I think we need to have somebody out there that starts putting the fire to the AAA studios' feet.
That's very true.
Because that's what indies are doing right now, is they're starting to
Yeah.
become to the point where AAA studios are paying attention and they're shifting how they do stuff. Because they
Yeah, big time.
invest like a couple $100 million into a game, and E33 comes out, like a quarter of the budget and just blows everybody away. I mean,
Oh yeah, it really made everyone stand back and like think for a minute. It's like, wait a minute, yeah. We don't need to go this AAA route. Clearly, these handful of people can get it done for less, just with hard work and passion.
Holy shit, the French are so good at something.
yeah. Poutine eating surrender monkeys. All right. So I don't know
Yeah.
do we end this conversation? I mean, is there any?
Ask. I would say, yeah, Daniel. Is there anything else you wanted to toss out there? You're in this circle of three here, probably the wisest on this subject.
Well, that's a scary thought.
Yeah, yes, it is.
I
It's
will.
scarier that I said it.
Well, yeah. I will point out that I have made exactly $2.50 out of making games. So take anything I say with a grain of salt, obviously.
But you are
Um,
the literal title of this show, the amateur game developer.
That's
You've
true.
developed games, and you're very amateur at it, and you've put your passion out to the world.
yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
here, fine. I got one for you, and we can probably wrap up with this. All right, Daniel. Some kid fresh out of high school, 18 years old. I want to get into game development. Where do I start? I know nothing. Go.
Google how do I do and pick one aspect of a game that appeals to you. How do I make a platformer, a 2D platformer, or how do I do a fishing minigame? Every fishing minigame tutorial, by the way, is the Stardew one. So if you're one of those Stardew people that hates Stardew fishing, maybe find something else.
Yeah.
But start small and focus on that and build from there.
Yeah.
Focus on one general idea you want.
Yeah.
And not
snowball.
only that, take the time every day to do a little bit. Even if it's 20 minutes in a day, you're keeping that muscle like working out, and it's going to get better.
That's
And
true.
what I understand is game studios aren't looking so much at your college experience. They don't care if you have a game development course. You're going to be building a portfolio. So all those assets, all those pixel arts you make, all those models, all those games, build them up, go to ArtStation, build a portfolio. When it comes time to apply to a game studio, that's what they're going to look at. They're going to look at your work there, and then you're going to go through the interview process where you're going to have to do projects that prove you're actually capable of doing what they need you to do. So it's great to have college on a resume, but if you can prove you don't need it, it's very easy to prove you don't need it in this industry.
It is an
The
industry
degree
that
gets
doesn't
you
require the
interview.
piece of paper.
Yeah,
Yeah. The degree gets you the interview. Your skills get you hired.
exactly. And yeah. All right, with that, we're going to call it an episode. Daniel, thank you for joining us. It has been a pleasure talking to you again.
Always
Yes.
happy to be here.
And
Yeah, it's been a ball.
if you are part of the Patreon, stick around because we have the video bonus, which is the audio at the end of this track. But you can go to patreon.com/retrotopia where you can join for free. And you can get the video version of the bonus there. So for everybody who's leaving us right now, thank you for listening again. And we'll see you back next month with a new topic and a new guest. For those of you staying, just hold on to your britches.